Hello, minasan. This is Yuki, and I wanted to give you some winter 2024 shoujo anime recommendation that I'm currently watching, but also you might be interested into trying them. The first one I want to speak about is Sign of Affection. I have been watching, or more like reading the manga of this anime for like the past 3 years, and I was really happy to see it being animated. Sign of Affection is about a deaf girl who totally cannot hear anything, so she's using the device, but again, it's not exactly helping. So she's trying to lead her life normally. She's going to university, she's making friends and trying to fall in love. And I think this is more like the happy side, or more like the normal daily life side of a deaf person. It gives a bit of insight onto the difficulties and also the major things to keep an eye for when you are dealing with an indie person on a day-to-day basis. It's slightly different from Silent Voice, the movie. You might have heard about it already. Silent Voice dives more into the traumatic, difficult side related to bullying and prejudices. However, this one goes more into like the day-to-day interactions. So I really hope you love it. The animation is so fluffy and it's so good, and also the feeling when you start watching Sign of Affection, it has really this kind of serenity and calmness, and how the world is so silent, and even the interactions they kind of show you one time from the perspective of the friend, or from Itsumi-san, the main guy, or the other people. It also shows you from Yuki, the main girl, perspective, and how she sees the world of people who are hearing. So I hope that you give it a chance. It's also piquing my interest about learning sign language and learning the little bit of sign language cues from the anime, but you have to keep an eye for that, the fact that sign language kind of different from one language to another. So you have got American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and probably also Japanese Sign Language. So what you might learn in this anime might not exactly apply to where you come from. And now I'd like to move on to the Seven Time Loop anime, which is also again based. This one is based on a Korean webtoon. And as the name suggests, the heroine have reincarnated through 7 different lives, and each life she had lived them differently. Like one time she was a nurse, one time a herbalist, one time she was a tradesman, one time she was a gender bender knight. So I find this extremely interesting and very much fun, because you realize that the heroine is not somebody who's tried to desperately live her life the same way and make up for the mistakes or the challenges and then fall again into one of the like the troop holes and sort of dies again meaninglessly. But she's a person who wanted to live the most out of her life and learn the most skills. And just from the opening I already feel a lot of joy. So in this 7th life, she encounters the person who literally killed her in 6th life, and probably the reason why she died 6 times already, because he's kind of the person who's gonna become like a king, who's gonna start a big war, and each time in her 6 past lives she dies because of the war he started. So war, like there is starvation, there is contamination, diseases, you may get killed by mobs, anything can happen. So if you think that this war have taken her life in various ways 6 times, then maybe the answers is into meeting this person and trying to prevent him from starting the war to begin with. And I don't think that meeting him was part of her plan. It was very much accidental. It was very much the unpredictable part about it. But I think she's, based on her knowledge of what happened historically in her previous life, she's gonna do her best to stop him from becoming a tyrant and like starting a worldwide war. So I'm looking forward to more about this one. It just has been a few episodes out, so let's keep watching it, and I hope you also give it a chance. The other shoujo anime I'd like to recommend is Dr. Elise. Again, this is the 2nd anime in this season that has been airing, and it's based on a Korean manhwa. And Dr. Elise is also based on a real life person, so it's not a historical person, so it's not just a part of like fictional character in a webtoon, but also real life women who lived her life as Dr. Surijin and who saved many lives in the past. So you might want to look into the historical aspect of it, but also you might want to read the webtoon. I think the animation is really good for this one. And Dr. Elise in the story is living in her third life. So she already died twice. She was in ancient times, and then she transferred to modern Korea, and now she's back to ancient times. So you realize there's probably something wrong with how the timeline moved. Either there is a person who caused it, or there is some sort of power that is interfering with how her soul has transferred from one place to another. So I'm really curious about what's going to happen next, and I hope we all learn about that eventually. The other one I would like to speak about is Apothecary Diaries. You have probably seen this one like in many places so far. The main character is Mao Mao, and then there is Jinshi. And basically Mao Mao is a girl who specializes in making medicine and also distinguishing poisons. And she can herself make poisons. So yeah. She has this skill and she's doing her best to survive using it, at the same time not becoming a red light district geisha, because that's what people around her have been doing for a long time. So she got somehow kidnapped, sold to the Imperial Palace, and she's working as a maid there, and then a lot of events happen. So I'm not gonna spoil you, but hopefully you give it a chance, because it's not your typical like girl coming from the countryside falling in love with I don't know, like somebody who's higher up, or the crown prince, or the brother of crown prince, or whatever it is, but more like a girl who's trying just to survive and not get involved in the palace politics as much as possible. And I think she's very much up to the earth and realist, and not dreamy or kind of idiotic type of protagonist. So I highly recommend it. I'm not gonna give you further spoilers about it. Maybe we can talk another time about the details, but yeah. Yeah, I hope you really enjoyed. And one final anime I would like to bring about in this list for this season is The Dangers in My Heart. And now season 2 is airing, so it might be a bit hard to just jump into season 2, but I'm saying from the first season, it's one of those really rare shoujo anime where there is tall girl and short guy trope. If you want to compare it maybe to Lovely Complex, but again, Lovely Complex is a very old anime, so I wouldn't really put them in the same league. And also it has a lot of fake, I would call it like fake fan service, because it's not like really fan service, but more like a lot of small misunderstoods that help the character build up their trust and connections to each other. The thing you might also notice is that there is a big misunderstood that's gonna happen if you watch the trailer. First of all, I started this anime because I was thinking like Ichikawa was planning on killing the girl he likes, or the girl he's interested in. But when you start watching the show, it's not like really he planned to kill her, it's just that he's denying his own feelings by assuming that he really wants to kill her. And he doesn't even realize that he likes her in the beginning at all. It really takes him quite a long while to admit it and to realize it himself. And Yamada is also interested in Chikawa. She has known him since elementary school. She wants to talk to him, she wants to become friends. And so one time he catches her snacking in the library, and just to explain why snacking for her sounds kind of weird, because she's a model, she's a famous person, and she's of course keeping watch over her weight, and if a model is caught like snacking eating junk food all the time, it's definitely not a pleasant idea at all for her. So she asks him to keep it a secret, and time she'll use it as a way to convince him to stay friends with her and also to initiate other conversations. This is all what I can say about the beginning. I hope that you give it a chance and that you don't get discouraged by the fake fan service going on in it, and it has a lot of fuwa moments, very much fuwa moments. So yeah, I hope that you give it a chance and that you enjoy this recommendation. And if you have any reviews, any kind of debates you want to start about any of these anime shows, just feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Bye.